So, imagine this, a small town in the middle of nowhere, nothing changing, but in reality, everything is. There's magic, there's mystery, love, betrayal, and secrets. In Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll's Beautiful Creatures, there's an intense love story between a young boy and a young girl who are too different to be together but are drawn to one another. Ethan White believes his little town of Gatelin is nothing but boring and repetitive, and he can't wait to leave. It's the beginning of his second year of high school, and him and his best friend Link were prepared for the same boring teachers and the same boring material. However, when they arrived at school, they quickly caught word that there was a new girl. As word spread, guys said she was the most attractive girl in Gatelin, even more attractive than Savannah Snow. Savannah Snow was cheerleading captain and the most beautiful girl and the most popular girl, and so on and so forth. But that all changed. But it quickly changed back when they figured out who the new girl was. She was Old Man Ravenwood's niece. So in the book, pages 20 to 21, it's talking of Savannah and Emily and their opinion on the new girl. Hardly. You should see what she's wearing. Strike one. And how pale she is. Strike two. You can never be too thin or too tan as far as Savannah was concerned. Emily sat down next to Emery, leaning over the table just a little too much. Did he tell you who she is? What do you mean? Emily paused for dramatic effect. She's Old Man Ravenwood's niece. She didn't need to pause for this one. It was like she'd sucked the air right out of the room. A couple of guys started laughing. They thought she was kidding, but I could tell she wasn't. Strike three. She was out. So far out, I couldn't even picture her anymore. So Mason Ravenwood was known as the town shut-in and also referred to as their own Boo Radley. No one had seen him for years and believed he was a crazy man. As soon as everybody knew who she wasn't the most attractive girl anymore, but the biggest freak. When Ethan finally saw her, however, he thought she was beautiful despite being the blood of a crazy shut-in. She was pale, like Savannah and Emily had said, but she had long, beautiful black curly hair and the biggest, greenest eyes ever. Ethan told Amma about her. Amma's the woman that's been caring for Ethan since birth, and even more so since his mother had passed away a few months before. She knew everything. She knew who the new girl was, she knew who she was related to, and she even knew her name. Her name was Lena Duquesne. She was in his English and history class, yet they'd never talked before. Not until one night when he'd gone for a drive in Link's beater and almost hit her in the middle of the road. So at the beginning of the book, it starts off with a nightmare. Ethan and a girl drowning and him not being able to save her, yet he could never see her face. He realized that night, when he almost hit Lena, that she was the girl from the dreams. After that night, the next day in English class, Savannah and Emily were taunting Lena, and Ethan could hear her responses to them, but in his head. After being pushed too far, she mentally yelled, "Enough!" And next thing you know, the classroom windows broke, and word spread faster than a wildfire. Ethan had gone after her, but lost her, and then decided to do what no one had ever done before. Go to Ravenwood Manor. He found Lena crying in a garden of familiar scents. Lemon and rosemary. That's what Lena always smelled like. They sat in the garden and talked, and that's how their friendship had blossomed. So Amma and Mason tried to keep them apart for their own safety, but their mental connection had grown so strong, and their physical connection too, with every moment that passed. So with the mental connection and the dreams about each other, Ethan had never really known what Lena was, or questioned why they could speak to each other without actually speaking. Finally, Lena explained herself and how she came from a long line of casters, not to get confused with witches. Casters have individual powers that reflect who they are, and Lena was considered a natural, meaning she didn't need to learn casts or practice as much. Everything she did was out of instinct. However, Lena's family was cursed. There is a line between good and evil. It's light and dark. And on a caster's 16th birthday, on the 16th moon, they choose which side they want to be with. However, in Lena's family, the females don't get to choose whether they're light or dark. It's chosen for them. And on Lena's hand, she'd been counting down the days to her birthday, or her claiming, and she feared she'd go dark. Ethan swore to help her figure out a way to destroy the curse, but they had very little time. As time drew near, secrets were revealed, and Mason Ravenwood had kept big secrets from Lena, about her own family, about her parents' death, about her claiming, and even about the curse itself. With everything going on, though, Lena and Ethan had grown so close that they ended up falling in love. So, while I was reading this book, I could genuinely feel how accurate it was to a high school teenager or any person's experience in a new school. There are cliques, and there's always rumors, and there's gossip, and it's stressful, especially if you're left alone like Lena was. Until, however, she wasn't left alone for long. Ethan came along and lent out a helping hand, and she found her very first friend, which made me very happy. Cami and Margaret had done an amazing job with Beautiful Creatures, portraying a young girl as a powerful caster, as independent and strong, yet very fragile and very innocent. The connection between Ethan and Lena is something I could feel every time I opened the book and read. And I really liked that. So this book was really easy to fall into, like to become part of the story as myself, which is always what I like to feel like when I'm reading a book. I would definitely recommend this book to anyone, especially since it is part of a 4-book series and the adventure and excitement doesn't end in just the one book. So out of 10, I would definitely rate this book an 11 because everything is put together and every little detail is giving the illusion that you were one of the characters yourself. With this book, full of secrets, I believe the secrets Mason had hidden from Lena are the most shocking. She was told that both of her parents had died when she was just a little girl, and that's why she had to move around with her grandmother so much. However, this isn't entirely true. Her mother is alive, but why did Mason keep it from her? What could the biggest secret be that could alter Lena's fate in reality? And why wasn't her mother in her life? So the book is actually really good. The ending is very intense, which is something I like. There's a lot of sadness, and there's a death of a really big character, which can shock you. So I really suggest reading this book, Beautiful